it's Elizabeth here from Neverland Creative, and today I am doing a title page process for my December daily 2017. So as you can see, I started off with the title page already done. This was a 6x8 picture that I printed with our name and the date, and I just really didn't like it after looking at it for a couple of days. So I was inspired by Pam Baldwin's circle class. I took Allie Edwards' product play class in November, and I was inspired by her fold-out sheet that she did for one of the stories in her album. And I decided to kind of go off that and do something similar for my title page. So what you just saw me do was use one of my regular page projectors as a guide to create a fold-out page. So pretty much the main part of the fold-out is the exact same size as a regular page projector. And then if you have an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, the fold-out is exactly 4 by 8.25. So that worked out perfectly. And right now I'm just kind of tinkering around with a few ideas. I was thinking maybe I would put a full 6x8 photo or that December calendar right there as my first page of the fold out, but then I decided that was just a little too big, and I kind of wanted to get away from having that original photo as is. So I decided to scrap that idea and just use the 4x8 fold out for the picture. So that is what I'm going to be doing here. I'm just going to cut out a 12 by 12 piece of white cardstock into the same dimensions as my as the piece that I was using for practice. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I'm just using my practice sheet as a guide to help me with the fold of my fold out. And I'm measuring it just in case because I'm really horrible at getting things, especially paper, to fold straight. So that's what I'm doing right now. And after that, I'm just going to use one of my 6x8 page protectors as a guide to punch my holes. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then after that, I decided to take the big step and cut my photo to fit that little fold out part. So I'm just measuring both of those things, the fold out part, and I'm just measuring the same distance on my photo. And it ended up being pretty much the same size. As you can see, there's a little bit on the top and on the bottom that's white, but I'm going to end up cutting that off in the final product. But I'm just going to glue that down with regular running adhesive. And I did have to trim a little bit off the sides, but that was all right. And now I'm going to take you to my computer and show you how I worked the inside of my title page. So as you can see on the left is my reason why. I wrote that down in my blog post if you'd like to take a look at what my reason why for this year is. And right now I am just making 2.5-inch circles, 5 of them. And I'm going to be using those for my photos. So as you can see, I'm just adding some of my photos, and this is not going to be a Photoshop tutorial, but in essence, I'm just using those circles and then putting the photos on top of them and making the circles a clipping mask. And I'm sure you can find a lot of tutorials on YouTube about how to use Photoshop and do things like that with clipping masks. But so I decided on, since there was 5 circles that were 2.5 inches, that I was going to use 4 of those for the 4 members of my family, which is my husband, me, my baby daughter, and our dog. And then the 5th one was going to be a picture of all 3 of us together. Unfortunately, we didn't have one with the pooch, but I figured since he had his own little picture, that was all right. So right now I'm just going through all of my photos and deciding what photos look better in those places, which I probably could have cut out because you probably don't want to see all these pictures of my family, but I didn't. So here you go. Um, I'm pretty much just choosing which photos I like the best and which photos fit better within the circle, and now I'm just going to be rearranging them a little bit to give more space in between all of the photos so I can add a couple more circles. And I add 4 2-inch circles that are red currently, but that's going to change, and that's where I'm going to use for journaling. So for my journaling, I decided to kind of make it a little bit more informative. I took inspiration from Allie Edwards' tags that she made for her album that have, I think it was name, age, and currently, and a few favorite memories, something like that. I just added location to that since my husband and I are actually in different places of the world right now. So I just thought that was a really cute way to start the album, and that's something that we're going to really enjoy looking back on in years to come, like what our favorite memory was or what we were really into this December. So here I am just fiddling around with the spacing a little bit, just making sure that everything fit the way that I wanted it to. And then once that's done, I will go around for every member of my family. For my daughter, who is only 1, and my dog, obviously I can't really ask them what they're currently into or what their favorite memory is, but I tried to answer from their point of view. So here we are. I've printed that journaling onto the cardstock, and I'm just measuring to make sure that everything is fitting correctly. And now I'm going to take the photos and adhere them down. And as much as I tried making it absolutely perfect on the computer, I ended up just eyeballing it once I'd printed everything out, and I think it turned out really well. So here I am just adhering all of the photos down, and for that middle photo I ended up folding it in half and then adhering both sides to the cardstock. It did end up a little bit off center. I probably should have looked at that a little better because, as you can see, the left side is really close to the other circle and the right side is not so close, but you know, it doesn't really bother me. I love the concept of it, and the little imperfections are not really that big of a deal to me. So my final touch is adhering the 4x8 1/4 photo of the 3 of us onto the flap of the title page, and that's what I'm doing right now. And I did end up cutting off that little white space you see on the top and bottom just to make it the same size as the page protector. But other than that, this page is good to go. I really, really love this page. I love how it turned out, and I'm really excited to see the rest of the pages that I put into this album. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel to see more of my December daily and other videos I post. Thanks so much. Happy December. Bye.